What's going on, guys? I'm Aprox, and once again I welcome you back to Satisfactory. Wait, what are these two beans doing down there? You little weirdos? Nope, come on, bean. You can't do it here. Oh goddamn. Yeah, you think it's funny, huh? Funny guy. Anyway, as I was saying, in the last episode we started this amazing factory and I'm determined to get it finished today. It has also been pointed out to me that I've been kind of wasting my parachutes, because now we still need mycelia to make fabric. And mycelia, as everyone, except me obviously knew, is a pretty limited resource. So until we discover a new source of fabric, parachutes are for emergencies only. Okay, now going back to business. I've prepared a sort of cheat sheet for us. I know it might look a little daunting and complicated, but trust me, it isn't. So now we have an input of this much resources, and we're gonna be converting those resources into this bunch of things in a refining stage of our factory. Then we're gonna take these things and mix them with these things, and then we're gonna go on to a construction stage, which is only going to be producing 3 parts, which in turn are gonna be pushed to an assembly stage, which is also going to be producing 3 parts only. Now if we take a look at this massive mountain of machines, we can see that they are kind of grouped up into 1, 2, 3, 4-ish segments. The most simple of which is automated wiring, for obvious reasons, right? It's not a very complicated supply chain. Then we have an even simpler layout for industrial beams, and then the biggest section of this entire layout is going to go towards versatile frameworks. This is obviously just an example of how things could be, because they're not going to be this way, since we are splitting the factory not to separate lines to make separate items, but we are splitting the factory by the complexity of the items that each section is going to be making, if that makes any sense. I don't know, it does for me, okay? So if we... Okay, enough of that. This was a cool idea, but it doesn't work practically. But obviously we do not have room to build anything new in this area yet, so I'm gonna have to do some clearing out and reorganizing. And since we have a power of editing to our side, we might as well use it. So this is it. We've separated this entire former flat surface into 2 separate L-shaped sectors, one of which is teeny tiny bit smaller than the other one, this one being the smaller one, and this one being the bigger one. And if we take a look from up here, we have also created a nice cubicle extension to this area. The reason for this is that I really want to have a sort of separate space that is not gonna get too overcrowded with machinery like assemblers and whatnot. So this is kind of a biggish overkill area for the purpose that I'm gonna be using it for, which is actually gonna have 3 of these machines, and then probably some storage to house all the resources that we're producing. And that is about it. I was thinking about having a control panel right here, you know, to control the power of the entire factory, but I decided against it. It is a nice and central location, so a power control unit would make perfect sense if it were here, but if I'm going to put one, I'm going to put one right here. So these are the layout changes, and now all we have to do is finish the rest of the building, which I unfortunately made sound much easier than it actually is. For now, we can mark off one of our items from to-do list as done, which is going to keep the morale up and give me more incentive to actually do stuff. I've also made a more localized list of things to do, so we can easier keep track of our progress, and also if anything comes up, it's easy to double check the math. So now the first thing I want to do is experiment a little with some layouts of the machinery we're going to be using and see if they can actually fit. And if they don't, well, let's just cross that bridge when we get to it, and now let's see if we can actually make this happen. Thank God to the power of editing, because this took slightly longer than I would like to admit. This is also the very first configuration that I tried out, and it is also the last one that I'm going to be trying out. So if we take a look here, this is actually set to the exact number or the exact volume that it needs to be producing, as is every single one of these other machines. You might also see that I haven't actually ticked off any of these signs yet, because I want to reserve this action right here for only when we have logistics sorted out for that particular element. I hope that makes sense, because it's going to be much easier to track our progress and it's going to be a more rewarding experience for me, So enough talking, let's go down to logistics. Oh, and that brings me to a very unfortunate coincidence or mishap, if I may. We should actually be making another 40 wire. I made a messed up thing and I managed to mess it up even more. Come on. Now it should be fine. And it's gonna be making 40 wires separately. I'm still questioning myself on it because, as you know, having all of these outputs going down and being managed in the same layer underneath is gonna be a nightmare. Can we actually access that panel? Oh, this is gonna be nasty looking. Yeah, this is looking all sorts of messed up, but you know, that's what the cavity layers are for, so we don't have to do all this nonsense up there where it's going to be visible to the naked eye all the time. And I could live with us having a little bit of clipping. Is it a little bit at this point? So I don't know, guys, leave a comment. Do you think I should actually fix this, or would you actually fix this? And if you decide that I'll have to fix this, I'll come back and redo the entire thing. You know what, guys, I'm sorry I made you watch that nonsense with the clipping thing. I've dismantled everything that I've built previously and rearranged the entire thing. I even added a little tiny half platform buffers, which is actually a lifesaver. I just wish there were half walls to come with it as well and half ramps, because now it's a little funky. Oh, nice. I did not panic use a parachute. Oh wait, yeah, that's because I've taken them off. I've rearranged the entire thing and now everything fits, all odd 15 number of these constructors, and now this one's gonna be the one that's producing 40 extra wire and the rest is exactly the same. Okay, so no weird spacing issues, no weird placement issues, and the best of all and most importantly of all, no clipping. Hit a like if you think I did the right thing and hit dislike if you think clipping was fine. I think we're gonna be back on track in no time. You know, because I already have an idea of how to do the belting for the entire thing. And once again, since we have two logistics layers, it is gonna be a cake. I just hope I don't jinx it saying that. Okay, it's been a really hot minute, more like 50. I took an ice break and then I hooked up pretty much every single item to every single line and every single belt. I only haven't double checked any of that, but I would assume that, you know, there's no reason for anything to be wrong. If we go here, we can see that there's a huge mess, like a tangled, massive mess of belt work and lifts and mergers and splitters and whatnot, but that is all a part of a plan. So now we have plates, check. Steel ingots, check. Steel beams, check. Steel pipes, also check. And rods and screws, check and check. If we step back, then the entire thing is complete. I can just quickly... Anyway, if I run around and double check if everything's connected, I really hope that I'm not gonna see any faults. All the belts seem to be in place and all the machines seem to have correct recipes hooked up, and all they need now is power. So let's give it some power. So if we connect these last couple of pieces, I'm gonna show you in just a second what we made. Okay, this is all hooked up and boom! We actually have this nice catwalk system. Don't mind this clipping and don't mind that clipping over there, but the rest is absolutely amazing. We have our power nice and neat covered up in this pillar, or actually in this support pillar and this horizontal beam, and then everything is wired up to this nicely placed switch, which looks like switch panel, but it's wired all the way up in here. Okay, this sounds promising. I see all the machines are either white for overclocked or green for actually doing stuff. Come on, do stuff. Do stuff. Okay, so this is absolutely finished, right? And this was by far the most difficult part. So now all we gotta do is take this assembler and plop 2 more assemblers down, I think. Yeah, okay, this makes perfect sense now. We're gonna be making reinforced iron plates here and then feeding it directly into this machine, and we also are gonna have rods coming in from underneath. And then this one is going to be making modular frames. Am I thinking right? I think I'm thinking right. No? Oh, of course, my silly head. We're gonna be making stators, 5 stators per minute. And then we're gonna be feeding both of these outputs down and through and up into the main assembly area. And once again, if I just flick the switch, oh yeah, lights immediately turn on. Machines start going. Oh yes, so lovely. So now if we go tab, go to our to-do list, we can cross off build construction stage section. Boom, 3 out of 5. Let's go. Now this is where the magic is gonna happen. We're gonna have encased industrial beams, we are gonna have automated wiring, and we are gonna have versatile framework. Procedure is super simple, and since we've already done it twice, once there and once on the other side, I'm not gonna bore you to death with the details, and I'm just gonna cut the finished product. And there we have it, a fully automated production line for all tier 4 space elevator parts and more. I'm sorry for all the eye candy and all the bright colors. I really wanted this place to feel special, so I went completely overboard with all the lighting details. I'm probably gonna end up ripping most of them, or some of them at least, out, but this had to be celebrated. First we have encased industrial beams, just zooming out of this machine, then we have versatile framework, and then we also have automated wiring, and all of it is amazing. It's probably gonna still take a while until we meet all the requirements for completing the phase 2, but we have everything on the ways. And let's not forget the most important step that we still have to take, which is crossing off the remainder of our to-do list. We're not quite yet able to cross off the last point, which is unlocking tier 5 and 6, but it is very much on the way, because all we gotta do now is wait. Anyways guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video, because as usual I really enjoyed making it. Hit that like button if you liked the video, or a dislike if you didn't, and as always, this has been Aprox. Thank you for your eyeballs, and I'll see you in the next one.